Okay, where are you? I should have done that before. No.
Oh, it looks like you're live.
We are live. Go down to the bottom of the screen and click on the camera.
I did that, but now, okay, there was no camera. I don't, just give me a minute.
Okay.
Come on.
It looks like it's live. What are we?
We are live. Yeah.
Are we live?
We are
yeah.
live, honey.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone who would depending on where you are. This morning we are having the meditation, and we're having two beautiful ladies. We're having Teri Angel and Dr. Ruth Anderson, who will be giving us the meditation today. So if you would just relax and enjoy, and ladies, you can take it over now.
Thank you.
As I figure out how to get myself off. I have lost the screen, ladies.
That's all right.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
So Jean is learning how to host the meditations a day, and Teri is right there in the next room. So she's going to help her out there. So I'm just going to start with us, and let's go ahead and close our eyes. Make yourself comfortable wherever you are. We're just going to go inward, and we are really just going to be listening for whatever the divinity has for us today. This morning, I've already been working with Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael. So I'm just going to ask them to please join us. So wherever you are, just asking that Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael come into the room. And we're each just going to sit in this presence of these two very strong, very intentional archangels. And I'm reminded that the importance of spending time in quiet meditation, what I call prayerful meditation. And I'm seeing the need to do that every day. Oftentimes I like to start my day that way. And I find that if I don't spend that time going inward and going upward, I'm really at a loss for the day. And it feels like the day just takes over. So just sitting here with Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. Teri, I'm being shown a clock, an analog clock, and the hands are ticking very quickly around the clock. I'm just looking for that meaning that they're trying to show us. And the meaning that I'm being given of that is no matter how fast time passes, they're showing me the clock hands moving very quickly, but yet we are each centered right at the place where the hands are together in the middle of the clock. That never changes. And I'm seeing the steadfastness of staying who we are in our knowingness of who we are and our connection to the Creator, that never changes, no matter what is happening around us, no matter how quickly time passes, no matter what chaos there is around us. We stay centered in that place of oneness with the Creator. That never changes.
They're sharing, Ruth, that the only time it will change is if we get out of our heart center. Our heart is where our soul is connecting in. And if we stay in that center, knowing that we are exactly where we need to be, that things around us may seem to be moving slowly or fast or erratically, that once we stay in that center and breathe in and know who we are, know who we're connected with, that it's going to flow exactly as it should, exactly as it needs to for us. We're the only ones that can take us off center.
And as I see us in the middle, Teri, I see our guides, the archangels, whoever your guides are, surrounding us in that circle, kind of like a tight-knit circle right around us. And we see that by relying on our guides, on our spiritual divinity, it really helps us to stay grounded day in and day out. I invite us all to envision that being in the center of the clock, the movement happening around you, but your guides, your spiritual divinity surrounding you in a tight-knit circle around you. And let's just sit in that space of oneness and connection for a couple of minutes here. And see if any of those guides have a particular message for you, something that they want you to know and carry in your heart as we move forward in our day. Teri, for me, I'm feeling Divine Mother, and she has a message for me. Are you feeling anything from your guides?
Feeling Archangel Shamuel, and it's probably because I called him in to work with his energy today. And I just got the energy of peace. The image that I got was laying on my back, floating in a pool, and just allowing that water to hold me and move me gently. And I heard, this is what peace feels like. We can go to that peaceful place anytime at all, just by breathing in and allowing the energy to hold us up, not fighting against the current, not feeling like we have to do at every moment, but just sitting in that stillness. That is peace.
The message I was getting from Divine Mother, she was sitting in a tall chair, bigger than life. And I was sitting on the floor with my head in her lap, and she had a hand on my head, and it was just compassion, just nurturing and compassion, and feeling that oneness with the divine feminine and allowing her to love me. So let's just sit with your energy, whatever's coming to you at this time. Let's just sit in that. And if you don't feel anything coming to you, use your imagination and think about Divine Mother holding you in that way. Or think about you laying in the pool on your back the way that Teri envisioned. Let's just sit in that energy for a few minutes. We're reminded that the archangels and the spiritual divinity will meet us wherever we are, even if we're confined inside, even in a cell, even in a jail of our own making. They will meet us wherever we are. There's such love and support for you at all times. And all we need to do is reach out and allow them to love us.
Sometimes we don't reach out because we're feeling unworthy. That prison that we put ourselves in, it's our cocoon. It's our way of just stepping away and going into the darkness. Even in that darkness, there's a speck of light. The angels are always there. Just allow them to speak to you now.
And as I'm looking at all of us on this clock face, if you will, standing in the middle, in my mind, we've all been facing 12 o'clock. And I'm hearing that we are to see yourself being positioned differently in the center, now facing 3 o'clock. And see if the guide that is at your 3 o'clock position has something different for you to hear today. So let's sit in that new energy. See if you can tell who it is and the message that that guide has for you now. Teri, who are you seeing at 3 o'clock, and are you receiving a message?
I sure am. My guide that was sitting there was just waiting, anticipating that I was going to come. And it was Yogananda. I've been connected with Yogananda for over 30 years. And every time that I come into his presence, it's all about compassion and sending a message outward from me of love and light. So every time that Yogananda shows up for me, it's to increase my reach, to look outside of myself and not be so devoted to what I'm doing or how it's affecting me, but to look at who might need a word today, who might need a smile today. That's always his message when he's working with me and teaching me. So I know that there's someone out there that needs to hear today that you matter, you're important, and that you have found that place. There's no accident or coincidence that you're here. You're here because you came to hear those words, that you are loved, you're cared for, you're lifted up, and you're exactly where you need to be in this moment.
So, Teri, this is unusual for me. I am seeing an archangel I don't recognize. And maybe you know about this archangel, Archangel Haniel.
Yes.
Okay, tell me, because I don't know who this is. And I asked Michael, am I really supposed to be seeing this now during a guided meditation? And the answer is yes. So who is Haniel and why am I seeing Haniel?
Haniel wants you to lighten up, lighten up. Haniel brings in such a beautiful message of helping you to see that there really isn't such a seriousness about this life. That when we go into our hearts, we find joy and there's laughter and playfulness. It's working with our inner child and really coming out with that energy of life should be fun, life should be enjoyed. So Haniel, it's interesting that you're seeing Haniel because that energy is coming front and center, and we're learning more about Haniel in the teachings that we're doing about archangels and angels. So Haniel's there with a specific message, I believe, not just for you, Ruth, but for so many right now. We've just entered a new year. We've come out of a tremendous time of struggle and challenge and loss and grief over the last year. So it's no surprise that Haniel now says, okay, now it's time to really enjoy being. It's a time to look at anything that's positive in your life. And if you have to pull on somebody else to help you see that, then do that. Do whatever it takes to find a positive in your life that you can hang on to and grow from and expand with that positive energy.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. I knew you would know who that was.
Yes.
I'm being guided. Thank you, Archangel Haniel, for showing up and for the message to lighten up. I love that. I'm being guided for us to turn again and face that 6 o'clock time in your spiritual clock. So let's rest into that for just a minute and see if there is a different guide that we are supposed to get a message from now. Teri, who are you getting?
I have Uriel right here with me. Uriel showed me that clock, and he showed 6 o'clock being the feet. So what he wants everyone to do right now is take a breath in and envision the energy of that breath traveling downward, going down through your root chakra and out the bottom of your feet and connecting in with earth energy. You're going to do some grounding right now. So as you go down into the earth, just feel that very center, the crystalline center of Mother Earth. Hold on to that energy for a moment. Just absorb that wonderful, strong, earthy feel. And then when you breathe in again, pull that energy back up through the bottom of your feet, back up into your root chakra, strengthening the root, and then pull it up into your heart center. What this does is allows you to be more balanced and centered, and going back to that very center of the clock that Ruth took us to before. This is how you can always pull yourself back to center. It's so simple. Breathe in and allow the energy to go into earth, and then bring it back up to your heart. And that will balance your energy and set everything right again, where maybe something was leaning a little one way or another. This will make sure that you are up, straight up and down, and centered and balanced into source energy. And Ruth, what did you get?
Well, I got Aquarius. Now, I don't know anything about that. So I looked up if there was an Archangel Aquarius, which I didn't get. But what I did see was that the zodiac signs are all connected to an archangel, and Aquarius is connected to Archangel Ariel. Now, interestingly, if Archangel Ariel had shown up, I would have recognized Archangel Ariel. So
Right.
not sure why I was seeing Aquarius. Does that mean anything to you, Teri?
Well, we've just gone into the age of Aquarius, and this is a time for us to focus more on fluidity, flowing. Ariel is connected with nature. So Ariel is going to help all of us during this time to be more balanced as we go out into the earth and walk on Mother Gaia and breathe in the beautiful oxygen to bring us back into a centered place. So it feels like we both were working on centering when we went there to that place.
So let's just sit in that energy for just a minute. And then I know they want us to go to 9 o'clock, but let's stay at 6 o'clock for just a moment. And this is what meditation with Teri and I together is like. It's just exploring and working with whatever's coming to us. So thank you for sitting with us in this place of exploration. So Teri, I'm definitely getting the groundedness, the earthiness, the nature aspect of 6 o'clock today.
Yeah, and just a reminder that to anyone that starts to feel off balance, to go back to that 6 o'clock spot. Envision yourself right there, standing straight up and down on the clock.
And I'm getting that we always stand in the middle and we look at 6 o'clock. But when we start to feel a little off center, if we're actually standing on 6 o'clock, stand in the middle. It's like being in your headspace. It's like being in your sixth chakra. you stay there and you look out at the other chakras rather than putting yourself into those other chakras. Very similar. So now we make sure we're standing in the center of the clock. Let's position yourself to be looking at 9 o'clock. Who of your spirit guides is at 9 o'clock, and what message do they have for you? Teri, what are you getting?
I got Jesus. And the big message for myself and for all of us is forgiveness, love and forgiveness. And I'm reminded that forgiveness is not about any person. Forgiveness is clearing an energy that's being held inside, something you're holding on to that maybe you feel justified holding on to it, and perhaps you are, but it's not helping you to rise up in your spirituality. When you forgive, it clears that energy so that you're free from any emotions that are holding you down, any of the heaviness in the 3D world. Forgiveness it lifts you like a hot air balloon. You just feel like you're floating once you let go of whatever that is, and they're doing some clearing there. So somebody's clearing some energy. Whenever we hold on to grudges, or we hold on to anger, or we hold on to regret, when you forgive that energy and forgive any incident that happened, it frees you up and you can move forward again. Holding on to stuff is kind of like putting shackles on. You're just so limited in your movement. But letting go is as easy as just making that decision. I let it go. What I like to say is I let go and I let God. So it's no longer inside of me. It's no longer in my energy. I'm releasing it to the universe, is what I do. And that's being reminded of that for a reason. So if there's something that anyone is feeling right now that is touching a chord maybe, and you're thinking that I can't let go of that. Yeah, you can. We can always let go. And Ruth, how about you? Who was at 9 o'clock?
It's pretty fascinating, Teri, partly because the angels are playing Name That Archangel with me. And it's just really a reminder to me to really hone in and trust what I'm receiving intuitively. So the first thing I thought I saw was Archangel Azrael. Well, Archangel Azrael to me symbolizes the archangel that supports us with transformation. And with transformation comes a death and a birth. And that is so hand in hand with Teri's letting go, because it is a transformation. Every time we let go, we're transforming. But then this thing that I didn't know what it was, and I heard the word Pluto, and I thought, okay, so is there an archangel that is connected to every planet? And I looked it up really quickly, and there is, and it's Archangel Azrael. So they're literally just playing archangel games with me today. So it really is a time for us to be grounded and to transform. Whatever that transformation might look like. It could just be a shift of perspective. It could be just opening up a little more to love and to be loved. It could be a shift of connecting more with your spiritual divinity and standing more in your knowingness and your oneness with spirit. But we are definitely being guided to take that chance, be open to that transformation, remembering to ground ourselves, and also remembering to trust our intuition. Kind of a action-packed meditation here, Teri.
It really was. There was a lot that needed to come out today. Today, Ruth, is the 4th day of January. And that number 4 carries an energy of plowing through. Just keep moving, whatever that challenge is in front of you, to keep working at it and being persistent. So it feels like that was the energy going on with this whole meditation. Keep moving, keep going, keep getting to that, that number on the clock. Keep going to the next one and working your way around it. So I think there's a lot that's going on today with many people with that number 4 and the energy of it, and allowing whatever comes up, just knowing that you're strong enough to handle that challenge, and you're not alone in handling the challenge. As we've shown, when you focus in and really pull in the energy of these beautiful divine helpers, they show up, they're there. They lift us when we feel like we can't even move a foot forward. They help us to do that. So even though it's a day of work and a day of being consistent and persistent, we can do it. We can make it through. I'm hearing, yes, you can. And that's the attitude for us to develop with this is, yes, whatever that challenge is. And there are many challenges going on with a lot of people in the world right now. We'll get through it, and we'll get through it with ease and grace and be stronger for it.
And also, don't forget the message from Archangel Haniel to lighten up.
Yes.
And what better way to lighten up than to be with the archangels and have them teach you things in whatever humorous way they might want to do that.
Absolutely.
Wow. So thank you all for being with us today. Always an adventure, but this one was even more of an adventure than I'm used to. So
yeah.
Thank you, lady. That was fascinating. That was a fascinating meditation. Sure gave me a lot to think about. If anyone wants to get in touch with you, Dr. Ruth, how would they do that?
So the best way to connect with me is through Enlightened World. And the website is www.enlightenedworld.online. And if you go to the contact on there, you can send an email and I'll get that. Or you can go to Messenger on Facebook with Ruth Anderson and I will get that as well. Thank you.
Very good. And how about you, Miss Teri?
Thank you, Jean, and thank you for hosting us today. You can reach me at www.angelspeakers.com and follow the Peace on Earth tour that's going on, where I'm currently with Jean. And also on Enlightened World Network today, if you all want to learn more about angels, every Monday we have a program called On Angel Wings. So tonight at 6 p.m., we'll be learning about Archangel Chamuel. So I encourage you to tune in each week. Ruth got introduced to Archangel Haniel during the meditation today. That will be our angel next Monday, just so you know. So tune in on Mondays at 6 o'clock Eastern. I have a beautiful co-host, Christina Leftwich, and we present the angel information to you. Thank you. Thank you, Jean, for this. And Ruth,
Oh,
always a pleasure to meet with you and do meditation together.
and I do apologize for the little glitch. My computer was upgraded while I was not on it, and there were things I couldn't find that had been there before. So I think we've all had that experience.
Yes,
So thank you all so much, and have a blessed rest of the day.
thanks, Jean.
Thank you.